This is your girl T Jane, and we are here today thanking God for this episode. Look who I have. Look, I have the most awesome guest today. We have Chantele Gray, owner and operator of PGS Studios and PGS Cosmetics, and then Pastor Shaunee Brannan, owner of the SB brand and pastor at Vertical Encounter Church. Ladies,
thank you so much.
You people.
Oh man,
Little girl.
long time.
Yes, little girls. They are beautifully adult women now doing their thing in the business, beauty, and clothing industry, and we are so proud of you. Welcome again.
Thank you.
So we're just going to get right into it. I asked them just a lot of times when I'm deciding on who to have on the show, I'm waiting on God, and I don't hear names, and it just popped in my spirit. You ladies, so thank you for being here.
Of course.
So I'm going to start with you, Shaunee.
Mm-hmm.
Can you, and both of you, please share a little bit about who you are and what you do?
So I am a wife, I'm a mom, I work in corporate America, and I'm an entrepreneur. I run an online clothing store, boutique with all of the custom apparel and all of the accessories and things like that. And so, my world is family, ministry, and business.
Yeah. What about you, Chantele?
Well, no. I'm a salon owner. Pretty Girl Studios is my baby. We have been in business now for a little over 12 years. And then PGS Cosmetics, which is our newest baby, which is our cosmetic line. I'm doing that. A wife, a dog mom, a worship pastor, a daughter, just all things. And so, yeah, we real busy, right?
That's awesome. Booked and busy. Listen, congratulations on both of you having a successful business. Shaunee, now, how long have you been in SB brand?
This is the second year.
Yeah, congratulations.
So into the second year. Yep.
Okay. And I also wanted to say now, Chantele, you were a member of Vertical Encounter
Yes,
Church. And you
yes.
said you were the worship pastor
there.
And then Shaunee, you and your husband have been pastoring for how long?
14. This is going on 14 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Yep. And they're young, but they're doing it in Jesus' name.
Yes.
So Chantele, tell us how PGS Cosmetics came about.
So I have always loved makeup, and it really came in before the pandemic. Like maybe a few years prior, I was a part of a multi-level marketing business or whatever, and I was attracted to this particular company because they had a cosmetic line. And I was looking for ways and products to kind of bring it to the salon, trying to create multiple streams of income and stuff. But it just got to be kind of difficult doing it that way because I've always kind of wanted to do my own thing. And so just kind of branched out. And with me already being in the beauty industry, beautifying women when it came to their hair, I just would see how a lady's confidence would shift and change when her looks change. And I just wanted to add something to that to continue to enhance women's beauty and so that they will feel good about themselves. And a lipstick will do it every time. So that was the easiest way to start. And so I just kind of looked into some things. Of course, I want to have a full cosmetic line, but we are taking our baby steps to get there.
That's great.
And so that's just kind of how it came about.
And when you say full cosmetics, what do you mean?
So I want to have everything from concealer, foundation, brow pencils. I mean, the whole kit and caboodle. But like I said, taking baby steps into, because even now, developing products, it can be a very tedious task. I'm mindful that I have so many other brands out there that I kind of look to for inspiration, but also understanding that's kind of my competition, knowing that it is a huge industry and stuff. So trying to see what's working and just trying to be mindful of my customer, you know what I mean? And what they need. So yeah, it can be a whole lot, but I'm enjoying the journey though.
That's great. That's the most important thing. So Shaunee, tell me, how did you get started?
Oh my gosh. So I had initially just said, yeah, that's not something I'm going to do. doing that because I just felt like, I first of all, I do overthink. Okay, I'm very analytical. I will sit and think and think and think and think from every area. And I just was like, I'm not doing that because I was looking at the competitive market and I was looking at all of the places I shop. And I just felt like, do I want to compete like that? And I would always say, well, I'm not going to do something like that unless I can provide something nobody else can. And I had shelved it, just completely shelved it. And I was focusing, it was out of my mind 1000%. I was focusing on writing and other things that I felt like God was telling me to do at that time. And I just remember one day we were out of town and I was in the gym at the hotel. And all of a sudden, I just remember seeing a picture of somebody who had an online boutique. And I looked and I said, oh, she looks nice, blah, blah, blah. And this isn't anything that has never happened before. You see pictures and images the whole time you're on social media. But I remember saying, something in me said, why don't you think you can do the same thing? Because God, the way God works, he never come in and say, you have unbelief, you have blah, blah, blah. He will ask you one question that will set you off like, oh my God. And I didn't look at that as an area of unbelief.
Yeah.
I just thought like, this isn't something I'm doing. But he always goes to the root and he's like, why don't you think
That's good.
you can? And so I said, so all of a sudden we're having this dialogue and I'm looking at this same outfit that this girl has on and 10 different ideas were in my mind instantly. Like I would have did this, and then I realized you're sitting on all of the expression of your creativity. And I knew in that moment, this wasn't just me taking in something. It's like when God speaks to you, he speaks in a way that you know it's a seasonal shift. Like, you need to do this now. Stop it. Stop playing. And so from that moment, I knew like, oh, I'm supposed to be doing this and I'm supposed to be doing this right now. So I called my tech guy. I was like, I'm ready to do this, blah, blah, blah. And like within a matter of, I think 3 to 4 months, we had like rolled out, like I didn't waste any time. I started ordering products right away. And by the time the store launched, I think like that first week, I made like $10,000 right off the top. Like, it was almost like God was like, see,
I told you.
Just shut up. And it was shocking. It was shocking to me, but people have been waiting and this isn't something I knew. I just thought like it wasn't in my mind at all to do it. And so having said all of that, over the course of time, it was like something shifted. I had capacity for it. And I think that was the thing. I felt like I didn't have capacity because you look at how hard something is going to be and you're like, I ain't got time for that and I ain't going to be doing that. And it's like, as soon as you say yes, it's still going to be hard, but you have a grace for everything that come with it. And so that's how it came about. It was not this plan. It was not something like I'm about to do this. It was almost like God was like, yeah, you need to do this now.
Right away.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So so you just segue me there. How do you balance being business women and women of faith? Chantele, I'm gonna start with you.
The balance is something I feel like I'm still learning because I feel it's always something different or new that life will bring about. I think for me, within maybe the last couple of years, I have really been trying to be intentional with self-care and taking time out, like blocking off a day where I don't do anything. And that's hard as a businesswoman because even just in the last few weeks, I've kind of realized like, yeah, you kind of took a couple hours. You haven't really taken your day because it's always something to do. So like, especially when you have an online business, that's money being made in your sleep. So you're trying to fulfill orders. Like the holiday season is getting ready to come, trying to make sure that you have the inventory you need. But I've been trying to make sure that I am doing a better job with shutting stuff off and like literally having time to just do what Chantele want to do. Because for so many of my years in life, it has been the business. It has been whatever other obligations that just something as small as sitting there watching my favorite show gets put on the back burner. And so for me, I've really been trying to make sure that I am taking the time to just be. And that is still an ongoing battle. On top of, like you said, being a wife, I want to make sure that we have time outside of business, outside of church. Let's just go out and hang out today and just do something that don't have nothing to do with that. Like even limiting the conversation, because church or work will always end up in the conversation when it is your life, And so it's like, well, babe, because one of my favorite things to do is dream. So like being intentional, having these conversations with my husband, check in, like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? They don't have nothing to do with work or church or family or anything like that. So really, and it's a work in progress.
It's good though. At least you have the mindset to actually do it, because that's difficult. Taking care of doing what you want to do, that's aside from everything that you have to do.
Yes,
that can be challenging. What about you, Pastor Shaunee?
It's same. Still learning. I am a workhorse. That's part of the problem. Is me and my sister talked about this, and we were like, we never really saw our parents sit still. So that's the first problem. My dad, on his off days, would be up just doing stuff the whole day, and then would wait till night till everybody was ready to go to sleep to whip out his saxophones for practice. And if you say something like, it's 11 o'clock at night, you have been home all day, and you want to play these now. This is my house.
Oh, gosh.
Never sat still. Even my mom not sitting still, like doing something. Always doing something. So we feel like we're not doing something. Something is wrong if you ain't doing something. How dare you have free time? What are you not doing? And it's like all day, got to get this done. And even on like weeks that I'm not rolling out new products, I'll be like, I know I'm not doing something. You're not doing something. You're not. And I have had to purposefully put a Sabbath into my schedule. So even on my Sabbath has become Saturday. After KK get out of gymnastics, that's my day to say, all right, I'm not doing anything. I'm going to be home. I'm not going grocery shopping. I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to enjoy my home, because I was getting resentful. Because when you always doing, and you're doing all of that, you start getting resentful. And then I was getting resentful of my family, like, y'all ain't doing enough. But I was wanting them to do what I was wanting. And so I said, I will be less resentful if I enjoy this environment I've created too. And so it is still, like she said, a work in progress, because when you have an online business, it is always inboxes, emails, orders, like, or you need clarification on this or that. Like, it's never anything that stops. So you almost have your Sabbath, or your time that you don't do that has to become almost, you minimize what you do, because you're never going to not
do anything.
But you just say, okay, this is the cutoff. And that's it.
So I want to ask you all, both of you, because, social media has become a real thing. It's evil in some things and it's great in others. Shaunee, I'm going to start with you. How do you manage? I mean, how has it worked for you? And then what do you like it, or do you not like some things about it? How do you use it to your advantage, I should say?
So the thing I don't like is that I have to be the model. And I've had people offer to model for me, but the reason I haven't done that yet is it's part of my creative expression. So I don't want to have to coach somebody to do what I'm seeing in my mind. So for now, I have to be the model and the face. And I don't necessarily like that because I feel like there's assumptions that come with that when you're in ministry, when you're a woman. Like there's this idea, oh, she just want to be seen. No, because I don't be looking like that every day. With my bonnet. But you have to, there's assumptions that come with it. And then I have to be very aware of what I show and I don't show. Because at the end of the day, I'm still a minister. Right. And I'm well aware of the conditions that are in the congregation. I never want any of the men in the audience struggling because they've seen me on social media and they've seen a little bit too much. Right. So it's like there's this balance that you have to walk. And some of the clothes could stand a little bit more sex appeal, but I can't give it that. Okay. And I won't for the sake of, at the end of the day, I'm called to ministry. So I have to have such a balance with that. And on social media, people only get one view, so they make a lot of judgments. They think your life is just great. They think you making all of this money. And they don't know all your money is going back in your business. Like you have to be frugal. The good times is paying for the slow times. Like they don't know. But it is to your advantage because some of my best customers are from social media. They come in and they see and they get the vision. And so most businesses now, to me, can't survive without social media. They can't.
I agree. Chantele?
So, yeah, social media definitely is a blessing in the space of being able to go global, if that makes sense. It really opens you up to more people. So, like, case in point, I was sharing with the ladies before we started that, like, my second job is PGS, and I go live on TikTok a lot to sell because it puts you in front of the world in a different way. Like when it was all of that talk about the shutdown of TikTok and people were like, well, you can do that on YouTube and you can do. No, TikTok is set up completely different because it's going to show up on everybody's feed. It is literally like the new the new QVC. Because calling a 1-800 number and you're talking to somebody, they're literally clicking a link, they putting it in their cart. If you got PayPal, whatever your credit, I mean, it is so simple and easy now. And so it is a blessing in that regard. Same thing with like Facebook, you can put your ads out there, people can share all of that good stuff.
I'm seeing you.
Yeah. Listen, and it ain't changed. But again, it's going back to what Pastor Shaunee said about it's constantly reinvesting in yourself and in your business. And one of the things I think too about social media that I have to be careful of too, because of the industry being what it is and oversaturated. There's so many people. If you're not careful, you will compare yourself to everybody else. You will compare yourself to this brand, that brand, and you will start feeling like you may not be doing enough, like the whole working. And it's like, no, you're doing what you're supposed to do, but you don't know that person's journey. You can't compare a business who's been around for 30 years to you getting started. And it's only been, we started PGS Cosmetics in 2020. And so I went through a period where I was gung-ho and then had a moment where I was at home. My husband was like, what is wrong with you? I said, and I remember sending Shaunee all the movies. Like, I need you to try each and every one. I sent some to my sister, good friend, Kelly. I need y'all to tell me the truth because if this is wet, I am just going to take the L, but everybody was so encouraging. And again, this is just getting started. You'll be able to perfect or change things as you go. But social media sometimes will make you feel like they got it better than you and you don't know what you're doing. And if you're not doing it like that, or if you're not blowing up like that, you will find yourself talking yourself out of it before you get started, or quitting before
get to that mark.
Yes. And so I have had to be like, literally, I just came off of a little consecration, and I have put the thing on my phone. You got 30 minutes a day to be on social media, and you're only going to post your business stuff. Get off of this. Because I had to start disciplining myself and shutting down, like, because that self-doubt will come in, and comparison, it will rob you of what your creative factor is, what I bring to the table that's different from everybody else that's out there. And so, yeah, it is definitely a blessing, but if you're not careful, it will cause you and your business, your brand, everything to crumble if you don't manage, just expectations and just what you bringing in to yourself. It will play with your mind if you let it.
That's good. And it definitely did with me. But Shaunee, I want to talk to you. I want you to speak about, you wrote a post about comparison, where you were dealing with that. Speak a little bit about that.
I think that it can be hard. Like I remember hearing Bishop Jake say that he was the last one to figure out who he was.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I didn't know who I was. I was carrying people's bags. Like, just happy to be there to get him a cup of coffee. And he said it took him forever. And I feel like some of that can be, we're looking for a model or a mold. Like, I didn't have mentors or like people mentoring me in certain capacities, and it was because God didn't want me to. He specifically told me later, after the fact, that he really was trying to make sure all of who I was came out. And I think that when you start comparing, like some of you wanting a mold or somebody to look at, is because you're kind of taught to model what made somebody successful. And so you start comparing and saying, well, the issue for me personally was I felt like I was too different. So I felt like the way that I thought about things, resolved things, saw things, the way that I did things, I felt like this is too different. And so something must be wrong that nobody else is doing this. I didn't see it as this is this is what I've invested in you from the Lord. This is your creative eye. This is an expression of me. And so it took me a second to actually embrace all of who I was. And that's not just in business. I'm talking about my sense of humor. Some people are like, your sense of humor is crass and you laugh at inappropriate things. I'd be torn up. Fall. When you fall, I'm like, I'll be laughing. It's like, yeah, she shouldn't be laughing at that. It's funny. And, so it's kind of like, you'd be like, well, I'm not supposed to be doing that because I'm this, and where does it come from? And so it took me a second to say, this is all of who I am, and this is who God made me. And I know that person has that journey and this person has that one, but God has endorsed who I am. And then whatever needs to change, he will change it.
Absolutely.
But that comparing thing can make you feel like something is wrong with you. And we don't realize a lot of people are just modeling each other. And they're missing out on their creative expression.
Absolutely. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, okay, so both of you all went to CAS, right?
Yes.
Okay, so how did CAS shape you? Because everybody that goes to CAS is successful. I mean, like, do it. Tell me about it.
Well, the one thing I'll say, I think.
Did y'all graduate same year?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I came out she came out 2 years before me.
Okay.
I just think CAS, along with just maybe school period, just the structure of getting up early, being on time, getting to your school, getting to class on time, making good grades, doing your best. Part of me laughs because I never saw myself going into business or being an entrepreneur at all. And sometimes I'm like, dang, I wish I would have known that. I probably would have took some business classes, but I still get to use what I did learn because music was my curriculum at CAST. So, I use all of that stuff being a part of the worship department at our church. But if anything, I feel like it just taught us, just to go get it. You know what I mean? Like being professional, like looking a certain way, presenting yourself a certain way. Because I do feel like Cass has an excellence about them. But, people who hate on Cass is the people who wish they went there. They flunked that test.
I actually flunked the test. My daughter didn't.
Y'all share?
Oh my God. Shaunee.
Thing too with Cass, like she said, you're around all of these other kids that are focused.
Yep.
They didn't tolerate fighting. You fight one time,
you out of there.
So and my parents threatened our lives because my sister went there too. Like, if you get kicked out of that school, I'm gonna tear you up. So we knew, like, you put Cass with parents that also don't play. You are taking everything serious, your grades, being on time. Like, it's just more of a focused environment. All of my CAST classmates, they're all doing well because everybody was driven by the same goal. So it just kind of prepare you for, like, this is your life.
Yeah.
Now I did get kicked out of the music programs. I was in that class throwing peanut M&Ms at the little man's head. They were like, she can't. So they transferred me to HR, which human resources, which actually worked out. It was good for me, but they put me out that program.
Unreal.
Yes, and she could read music to this day. I can't.
It's been a long time though, but I can read music. I learned how to play piano. I'm real dusty. I think about getting back into it, but it's like, when I'm gonna find the time? But Cass taught me all of that stuff.
Reading music is phenomenal.
Huge.
That's a big deal. I had to put that in there because I'm like, these people from Cass, there's something else on them. They're just supportive. So I want to shift a little bit. Both of you are married, and your husbands can go. A husband can go either way with what you're doing. Sometimes, and so. What does it look like as far as your husband and his support of you? How does that work?
Well, I will say I am really blessed to have such a supportive cheerleader, team player. Like, my husband, good grief. Sometimes I'll be like, God, you did your big one. Because my husband really supports me. He helps push me when I want to give up. Like, even now, it's certain things we praying about, and I hear him going to God with so much fervor, and I be sitting there holding his hand, thinking like, God, I don't feel that way no more about the business, but because he just really believes, and he sees where I want to go, what I want to do. He's also seen some of the struggles and the challenges, and yet still believes. And it's like, oh, you so great, husband, but I need that. You know what I mean? And I really am grateful for that because it can be a source of tension in a marriage. If the Bible talks about when 2 or 3 gather together, and when you're gonna touch and agree in my name, I'll be in the midst. And if it's not that, then it's gonna be a problem. And so I do thank God for the fact that I feel like my husband understands also that whatever we do, whether it's him doing his thing or I'm doing my thing, we are a team. So at the end of the day, it is all coming to one pot to help us get to the bigger goal.
That's good.
So, I believe in definitely, having balance and things like that. So like there's moments where he like, well, babe, why don't you take, I'm like, no, sometimes he don't understand the grind.
Yeah.
But he'll let me do it because he's like, I gotta let her get that out. If I try to come in, it's gonna be a problem. So, he does know how to reel me in, but he never gets in the way of whatever I'm trying to do. I love the fact that he also has a different perspective, being that I feel like I've been an entrepreneur out the gate. Like I had a job at a daycare once, and then I had a job at in retail, and that was short lived. But after that, everything was just me. So he brings a corporate America thought process to, whereas I'm so used to running the show. Sometimes he like, well, babe, you might need to consider this when it comes to processes and procedures, things that a lot of entrepreneurs don't have, especially if you did not have a corporate background, or if you did not work in a business setting where you can see all of that. That's why I was saying like, dang, I kind of wish I knew I was going to be an entrepreneur. Maybe some of that business acumen at CAST, their curriculum, could have helped me in that, because when I did go to college, I was still taking a music because I thought I was going to be a music teacher. I had no idea that I was legitimately going to really open up a beauty salon, even though I knew I always wanted to do hair. But I kind of get a degree, go to college, because this is the way you're going to be successful. And for some, that is true. That was not my testimony. So, but my husband, but he's been a huge blessing in regards to being supportive, helping me. I mean, like, God answered.
He remodeled your whole shop.
Listen, remodeled, put it together. Like, God answered my prayer. I remember when my mom got married to my stepdad, and we figured out he knew how to fix stuff and put stuff together, especially all the years it had just been us girls. I said, hey, Lord, can he know how to fix it all? And he know how to do everything. He just helped my parents remodel their house.
I saw your mom's post. I'm like, this man.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother stream of income.
Absolutely.
Man.
Oh, God. Okay, Shaunee, you're the pastor's wife and the pastor.
Man.
Man, so Gail is super supportive in the sense of like, sometimes I'll be randomly places getting all these hits on my site. Like he was in Dallas for rehearsing for a tour, and I was getting all of these hits from Dallas, parts of Dallas. He's down there like, put in my wife's site. Hold on. So he's a roving reporter. He's going to tell everybody about the site. But there was an adjustment period of support from the time side, because when you're in those initial stages of building your business, the amount of time that it takes, because you're also learning your own processes. And it would take time away from the family. Like I would be like, well, can you take the girls? Because I have to do this. And in our business, timing is everything. Like get it out here. Black Friday's coming. Fall, summer is ending. Like you can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna do it next week. You know, that could mean $1,000 or more, you know. And so having to get him to say, oh, okay, she's busy right now, and not press me, because sometimes he would press me like, can you wrap this up? And I would be like, no, I really can't. Like if I wrap this up, somebody's not getting no work. And bringing him into my world. So what helped me was associating how he works with music. When he's working on a project for somebody, hours, I'm telling y'all, come down to his studio at 10 and sometimes doesn't leave until 11 at night. Just all day. Go get us something to eat back down there. And I explained to him, the same way you need creative space to piece together this song or this person's project, and I do not bother you because I understand. That's what it requires. I need that. And it was like the light bulb went off, because if people aren't a part of your process, they think parts of it is dispensable. Like you don't need to do that. And they don't get it. And so I had to say, when I'm letting you sit in there for an hour and pick all them sounds and them teens, I get you need all of that. Same thing. So it's like, it really is a give and take, because there is going to be sacrifices.
Absolutely.
Like huge sacrifices where you say, we can't go on that trip. We got to go on this one. We can't do this. We got to do, and the whole family has come into understanding, like, yeah, this is what it requires. So yeah.
That's good. That's good. So where do you see your brands in the next 5 years? Whoever wants to go first can go first.
You can go
I'll
first.
let you go first, Tony. I'll let you go first, Tony.
So hard to really say, because I feel like, especially now that we are post-COVID, and I'm just, because it has been so much change in the world. In a perfect world, I would love to see in 5 years that my brand is in at least 1 or 2 chain stores, like a Ulta or a Sephora. Definitely by that time being more, having more products as far as like the foundation, all of that good stuff, having a full line, being in those stores. And
but still, you're going to maintain your site.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Still have the website. Because one thing I feel like, as I'm still building and growing my brand, I'm seeing the effects of certain things with some of these brands, mainly brands of color, that are affected by what's going on with Target, what's going on with all of these big box brands. I also, in 5 years, I actually feel like it may come sooner, but I'm not sure. We just yet praying. We'll have a warehouse.
Oh, great.
Like, because even I have a lot of my products in my salon. I have space in there, but that's going to be very, like, in a minute, I'm not going to have space. And so I know that that's going to take more money. And then, of course, having to bring more people on, which means you have to do the whole training, like my husband was saying, process, procedures. What does this look like to have a staff? All of that. But yeah, so in 5 years, that's where I see myself, like, growing to become more of a household name.
And will you continue with the salon?
So, yeah, me in the salon. Because in a perfect world, I would love to keep it. I don't know if I necessarily want to be working behind a chair. So in me building this brand, I am realizing, both brands, honestly, I'm realizing I'm getting older. I'm not 20 no more. Age is a factor. Although I love my customers, clients, they have been good to me. Great. Love them all. But there is a time when you're trying to figure out what your pivot is. And I feel like that's what I'm trying to do. Figure out what my pivot is. Everything is not long lived. However, I would love to be in a position to just create a space for others to be able to be groomed and grow. And we continue to grow the brand, give them an opportunity to build their clientele, grow in the industry. And I just play more of a manager mentor role. But yeah, we working on a good old pivot around here.
That's great. That's good. Okay, Shaunee, what about you?
Definitely in the next 5 years, like, the Lord has spoken to me several times, and from the jump, brick and mortar. And I said, I don't want a brick and mortar. And I still don't want a brick and mortar. But like Chantele said, I think brick and mortar is warehouse space. For me, I want warehouse space that's multifunctional, where there's like sets for shooting. So like photography, videography, all where it's like all in one place. And definitely I want to be able to mass produce like my own designs. So there are like pictures I have in my mind of different products and things that at some point I want to have made, but I want them made in like mass production. So the next step would be finding the right company to mass produce certain designs that I have that are my picture, my image, my thumbprint. And that's kind of the dream. I would also love to have like clothes in like a Macy's or a Target, my own designs and things that are my aesthetic. And so that's the dream in the next 5 years.
That's awesome. And that will come, both of you, I'm sure that will come to pass.
Amen.
I don't see it not. So what was the first product you launched, Chantele?
So it was matte liquid lipsticks. We actually had 8 colors when we first started, which is kind of like our staples. So that was the first thing. We was running with those. Then we added some lip glosses to the equation. So again, we just kind of stayed with the matte liquid lipsticks, lip glosses for many years, trying to get the name out there, get the brand out there, create a little buzz. But yeah, that was the first things we started with.
That's good, and you did that. That's awesome. Shaunee, what about balancing, what's the biggest challenge actually with building a business?
Visibility. Visibility, because people, once they see it, they will want it. Like, you have to have enough confidence to say there's a market for whatever it is you have. And the issue becomes people don't always know you're out there because they're competing with the people who already have the algorithm or the name or whatever else. And so I feel like visibility can be the issue, which is why you have to be willing to take money from what you earn to put into your visibility, promotions, all of that stuff. And it's almost like once you start doing it, the train starts to happen where people share it and, it starts to build, but visibility can become the issue. It's not necessarily what you're selling is not wanted, it's visibility and your competition too.
Yes.
I mean, in the fashion world, I recognize I'm competing with the Fashion Novas and, Shein, who they have certain, they're a machine.
Yeah.
You're going to get your stuff by a certain time. You're going to be able to return it. And so I recognize what I'm competing against.
And they going to steal your picture and put somebody else's face on it.
So yeah, it's like, what can you do? Like, somebody sent me a whole Pinterest where they had all my products and had put them on Amazon. I said that y'all can order that if y'all want to. That's not what's payment.
Yeah.
But yeah, people do it. They steal your face, steal your products, try to remake it, and it be terrible.
Yeah. Real terrible.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask about how do you deal with objections? I know you were talking about the emails or the chats or whatever you get from the customer. Chantele, how do you deal with that?
So, first of all, I have to pray a lot of times right before I respond because my mouth. And then you're trying to make sure that you're giving a good customer experience. And I feel like one of the things that I have really had to start doing is the education piece. So I'll use it this as an example. So I go live on TikTok. I am realizing that after a year of going live consistently on TikTok, my audience is the aunties. And a lot of them, even though digital and the internet has been around for a while, a lot of them do not understand the process. And so, like, I've had to, when I'm live, I'll talk to them. Like, I'll go through my whole spiel of saying the because what I'm realizing I'm also doing is creating a community.
Right.
And so I have to try to explain to them, especially with a platform like TikTok. First of all, I'm not in charge of how this whole thing works. I have to follow suit as well. And then I had to explain to them, I know y'all want it right now, but you have to slow down sometimes. Y'all putting 13 lippies in your cart. I didn't put the 13 in there. Then you didn't see? So I need you to tone down when you coming at me. I'm so sorry. But I need you to pay attention to A, B, and C.
Quantity.
Yes, it is such a thing. And then I have to explain to them, like, hey, if you guys don't know how to use this platform, I think I want you to slow down and learn how to use the platform first before, because again, I think sometimes they don't know, this is all new to them. They're excited, you know. In some cases, I've had people inbox me like, you just my girlfriend. Like, I don't even know you, but we cool. We building a bond. I know, but I don't know you in real life. I want you to feel like that because that's part of selling. That's part of marketing. And if I did meet you in real life, I would be nice to you. But I need you to understand, though, like there's a certain way to do things. And so I know I cannot pop off all the time because we're also in the age of the screenshot. We're also in the age of the video going viral where they'll have our conversation in a backdrop and be doing a whole
rolling.
Yes. And they'll be doing a dissertation telling all of their followers, don't buy such and such and such. Yes. So it's like you have to be real strategic. I've even had people, you know, the scammers of it all. Like you have to be so careful.
Yes.
But I have to like really take myself and my feelings out of the equation a lot of times. And definitely put on that corporate professional hat. And I have to try to educate them on some things because sometimes they just don't know.
Yeah. This takes a lot of wisdom with business and dealing with people for sure.
Okay.
What about Shaunee?
I think working in hospitality, like I worked for Hilton Corporation and Marriott Corporation, a total together like 15, 16 years. They drill customer experience in you so much. And at the time, I didn't know God was like preparing me from that with that background for business, but also in church. Being able to accept feedback from customers, even when they're wrong, is huge because it's educating you either way. For the next bad customer, for the next good customer. And you'll have people like Chantele say, I tell you who be tearing me up. When it's time to get tore up, it be the aunties every time. But they're super opinionated. It was one lady that would come on all my TikTok videos. It was like she had time one day. I know she had popcorn and juice and was just sitting up in her bed. She would get on each video. I'm age now. Like, oh, wait. She was saying, what?
She typing all the L's.
Because I guess all my polka dots and stripes was too much for her. She would get on each one. And I went to her profile and I said, that's all I need to see. I know why you're up here. I know exactly why you bored. But you can't respond to them. You can't clap back. Because part of putting yourself out there is you're going to have people
for sure
that say, this is it. And some of them be miserable. Some of them are just comedians, wanting to be funny, like whatever. And so I never respond. I might laugh or whatever else. But having customers give you feedback on like just their experience, it helps you to know like, oh, I might need to go a little broader with my measurements. Like she said, people get excited and will add stuff to their cart. And when I'm giving measurements, I've taken those measurements. These are not
with the
guesstimate. I have a tape. When I'm telling you the sleeve is this, it's that. And sometimes people don't read and they purchase it and then they get mad and they say, well, this isn't whatever. And so you kind of have to say, well, I have to think for the person that's not going to read. And I really want people to be happy with what they purchased. I don't want you to feel like I took advantage of you. So you kind of got to know where you can tighten up or create an experience for people that's better, or when it's just unavoidable. Like it really, like you said, it takes wisdom.
It does. So ladies, we're going to be winding up. This has been awesome. But if you could speak to your younger self and starting out, what would you say? Whoever wants to go first.
Man, I would definitely tell my younger self to have started certain habits earlier. Like I would have started my 401k earlier.
Mhm.
Now I did start it in a good time, but I would have started it the minute I was working. I would have told myself put back for that. I also would have told my younger self there is nothing wrong with your expression, because you can just feel, you can second guess yourself so much that it delays you.
Yes.
And I just would have fueled myself with the confidence to just go for so much, not to put stuff off. And so definitely that.
Man, my younger self, I probably would have just told her, like, you really can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just think, I definitely had a lot of fear growing up. You almost live for other people because you feel like I got to do what they say or what they want me to do. And I would definitely just be like, no, you can do what you want to do. Like, you put your mind to it, like, for real, for real. And I know people say stuff like that all the time, but like seeing certain things like literally happen. Like, when I think about the salon, and in the beginning, I did not want a salon. I felt like it was too much work. But now, to have been in a position to get it, and not just get it, like God wanted me to have it, like it's mine. And I'm saying it like mine, like it don't belong to nobody else's mind. Right. It's like that really happened for me. And it's like, yeah, so it's gonna happen till you really can have what you want, and you really can do what you put your mind to do. So don't let nobody else talk you out of that.
That's right.
That's good. And you really will be successful.
Yes.